Elon Musk suddenly made a comment that Singapore and several other countries would experience extinction. That was Elon's comment on Thursday. Last week on his Twitter account, Elon Musk's statement began when he discussed comments from Mario Naval, an influencer at X, who said that Singapore was experiencing a baby crisis. Sinoval M week baby crisis in Singapore, will robots save it? Which was responded to by Island Data Reference News. We stated that the birth rate in Singapore has reached its lowest point, namely only 0.97 children per woman, aka this figure is far below 2.1 needed to support the population. Means more elderly people, fewer workers, and a shrinking workforce. From factories to food delivery, robots will replace less skilled human workers. If that happens by 2030, almost 1 in 4 Singaporeans will be over 65 years old, and the ratio support has dropped to 4 elderly adult workers, where in 2014 the ratio was 6:1. Then Elon Musk responded to the tweet with one short sentence: Singapore and many other countries are going extinct, or the free translation is Singapore and many other countries will be headed for extinction. It turns out that it's not just Singapore, as in Island's comments. South Korea. Last month, the government also released information that made headlines in that country. That South Korea will become an extinct country in 201,100. Why does South Korea currently have a birth rate of 0.72, the lowest in Korean history, where in 2150% of South Korea's population will be over 65 years old? This is also because of the impact of fertility is decreasing in certain countries. We remind you that the number 2.1 is the number needed to support the population, meaning that one mother gives birth to 2.1 babies, or so that it is easy to understand. 10 mothers give birth to 21 babies. To maintain the labor force, there are always young people available so that growth is stable in a region or country. Currently, many countries have fertility rates, birth rates have fallen below 1. In the world average, older people are increasing in number, young people are decreasing in world average age. One of the causes of reduced reproduction of babies is due to the high cost of household living, especially in developed countries. It turns out that the reduction in the young population is the reduction in the country's productivity, which causes a downward spiral, namely the economy decreases, the population decreases, the country becomes weak and easily conquered by other parties, or it becomes pariah country or paralyzed country. We go to China now, where in the 1980s to 2010s there were 10 to 15 productive people to cover one parent over the age of 65. The figure of 10 to 15 people is twice as good or more than the average of other countries, where the average is 10 productive people for one parent covered globally. Now in China in 2024, it is recorded that one person is carrying one parent over 65 years old. It is estimated that in 2045 China will have 3 young children supporting one parent, and this means that in 2050 China will not be able to reach its peak as the richest country in the world. The opportunity is that in 2035, if you go to Japan, currently in Japan 4 young people support one parent, but Japan is doing something revolutionary. They are moving old age to 75 years, which is unproductive, where age is 65 to 75 years old. They are still productive, still healthy, and this is being continuously boosted with vitamins or health from the Japanese government. So the number shifts to 6 people helping one parent over 75 years and over in Japan. Currently in Indonesia in 2029 to 2044, this is the biggest demographic dividend, which must be utilized immediately, otherwise Indonesia will fail to become a developed country, where every 10 young people support one national burden for parents over the age of 65. If this is successful, Indonesia will take this opportunity once again to be reminded that in 2029 to 2044, if Indonesia takes this opportunity, the country will definitely progress and create a generation from 2029 to 2044. Is that the current productive generation must have a population of all high school graduates, no one who only graduated from elementary school or junior high school, 100% of whom have graduated from high school, 30% of whom go on to college with a bachelor's degree or above, opening up as many labor-intensive employment opportunities as possible in the field of science, technology, high technology, downstreaming, biological science, biotechnology and robotics. It is estimated that in the 2050s, 5 young Indonesians will support one, so that in 2045 Indonesia can become a developed country in the real sense. The condition is of course that the government must make people smart, diligent, strong, steadfast in spirit, and the government provides knowledge and easy facilities and of course easy funding. Unfortunately, in the previous regime, the government failed miserably to make people smart, instead they were fooled. And it gets even stupider if you look at the labor force data. 20% of elementary school graduates, 65% of junior high school graduates, less than 5%. Actually, it's up slightly compared to the Suharto era, when 65% of the workforce were elementary school graduates. The question is, what are the 5 presidents after that? What are you doing? Peace.